Okay, well, my name is Sara, and I'm an artist living in Dubai. And how many of you have Instagram over here? Yeah? Yeah, you do? Cool. Do you like memes and things like that? Okay, well, I want you to, when you get home, to go on my Instagram channel, Sara Japs, Sarajaps. That's my name on Instagram. So, and I have a website and everything. So I do a lot of drawing in Dubai, like live events for different people, like Bloomingdale's and Harvey Nichols and things like that. So my work is about fashion and everything like that. So today we'll be talking about how to make a diary. How many of you have a diary that you write into, like, dear diary, today I had a really rubbish day at school. Who writes that? Art diary. So it's like a sketchbook. So it has, you can collect all your kind of inspirations, like your favorite artists or things that inspire you. Does anyone know about inspiration? What inspires you? Does anyone have any lists of, what makes you excited? What makes you really, really excited? What? Hats. Cool. And anybody else have anything that makes, what?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Sorry? Leonardo da Vinci. That's amazing. That's an amazing source of inspiration. I love Leonardo da Vinci. You'd love Italy, honestly. There's so much beautiful, beautiful art. So, yeah, we've got a lot of inspired people around here. So what do you do with all this inspiration? What do you do when you collect? There's so much cool stuff, but you don't know what to do with it. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about in today's talk, is how to make a diary for art. So we call it a visual diary. So it's about creating your own visual diary. So the first question you might be asking is, why should I? Why should I create a diary at all? I can't be bothered, right? So let's see, why should I create a visual diary? What is it, first of all? So we've already covered that. It's an art diary, art journal, is a daily journal. So it's done daily, every day. You draw something or you collect something. Even if you draw a line, anything that you can do to, add to this diary, as long as it's every day. Often containing both words and sketches, and occasionally including mixed media elements such as collages. So it's not just sketches or your drawings, because sometimes people are really scared of drawing. They're just like, well, I can't draw a straight line. Actually, I can't either. I'm really bad at drawing straight lines, believe it or not. So, sometimes it's a good way of doing it is just collecting things first before you put your pen on the paper. Just collect things that inspire you, like, well, we'll get into that. So, I like this quote because it really, really explains it really, really well. It really explains the role of an artist really well. So let's have a read through. You are an explorer. Your mission is to document and observe the world around you as if you've never seen it before. So you got to take notes, collect things that you find on your travels, and document your findings. Notice patterns, copy, trace, focus on one thing at a time, and record what you are drawn to. So that pretty much sums it up. And so these are some examples of beautiful sketchbooks. And the best part about sketchbooks is there's no wrong or right way to do it. You could just fill up a whole book of just scribbles. As long as it means something to you, it means something. As long as you're doing it. So we have, over here, we have just like beautiful colors, like if you're really, really fascinated with colors. So when I was in art college, I just used to fill up pages with different colors. It didn't mean anything to me. I'd just be doing it pages and pages. So you don't actually have to draw a physical thing. Or you can collect poetry or magazines or celebrities or fashion or... Let's go to the next one. So why should you do it? Well, why should you make a diary? What for? Why can't I just draw? Whatever. So what it does is it gives you clarity. It tells you, once you start doing it on a regular basis, it tells you what kind of an artist you want to be. So, when you have all your things out in front of you, you can see a pattern. So when you have that kind of pattern, that helps you develop your style as an artist. So that's important. And then it just is, it's, wait, actually, this is not what I wrote. So now that we've discussed why to do it, let's talk about how will I do it? Like, how am I going to start my journal, right? So first you have your collection of inspiration, which we talked about. So for you, you love Japanese artists and you love Leonardo da Vinci. So what you'd go through is, what's your favorite piece from Leonardo da Vinci? What's your favorite?
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. That's a very popular choice. You know, I do a smile like Mona Lisa in pictures because I feel really, really awkward. I just go like this. I do a Mona Lisa smile like this. So she's famous for her smile. So, but yeah, many people have been really, really fascinated with the Mona Lisa. It's actually really small in real life. It's like this small. But so that is really, really cool that that inspires you. And are there any other Japanese artists that you like? So in your journal, you'd probably be interested in, you collect pictures of Mona Lisa. You'd, look for interpretations of Mona Lisa. You'd, look at other work of Leonardo da Vinci. You'd probably look at that whole movement, the history, Italian art, Renaissance, or anything else that you like. So for you, you'd probably, if you were making an art journal and you were really interested in Japanese art, I'd start with like, do you like Japanese cartoons? Any of your favorite kind of cartoons? Can I have the mic for her? Just tell me like that, I can hear you. Sorry? Nanu? So? Oh, okay. So when I was younger, I used to really like Sailor Moon. Do you remember Sailor Moon? No? It was pretty cool. And they had loads of costumes. Do you like the costumes in Japanese art? Is that why you like it? Or do you like the way they draw the hair and things? Yeah, that's my favorite. It's beautiful. Like you can look at the artwork and see the hair and everything and it's flowing. And I love the amount of detail that they put into it. So for you, you can probably look through your favorite comics, collect all of those, collect that you like, maybe look into the history of Japan and other things like that. So that's how you start collecting it. And you can also collect like memorabilia, so even movie tickets or, nature or leaves or shells or anything. I like to collect flowers that my husband gives me and I press it in a book and I keep it. That's sappy, but I do that. And then after a while, you start to notice a theme. So there was a girl in college obsessed with birds. She used to collect loads and loads of things about birds, and then she'd take pictures of birds, and then she'd draw birds from different angles, and then she'd try drawing birds with colored pencils, then she'd do it with paints, then she'd do it the next day with charcoal, then she would, oh my God, she was just cuckoo about birds. So, but that was what really, really interested her. So I really think that you should definitely start drawing what you love. And when you start drawing things that you love, you start to see a pattern and a theme, and that's what you want to explore. So then, lastly comes the drawings. Once you've got enough information, then you can start to draw. So you can start drawing sketches, like I said, about try exploring different media. So don't, if you love watercolor, but you want to I would recommend, don't just stick to what you know, but go for different media. So maybe if you love drawing, using watercolor, that's fine. But try acrylic or try black and white just for a change. Or try zooming in really, really close and then just drawing the eye. Or, there's lots of different ways of doing it. There's lots of different ways to look at one subject in different lights. So how I make a diary, this is how I go about it. So a lot of my inspiration comes from Pinterest. Does anyone use Pinterest here? Is anybody obsessed with Pinterest? Yeah? Okay. What do you like collecting on Pinterest? What are your boards like? DIY? Things like that? Like hacks? Yeah. Is it like for the home or for art? Or
No,
for home, yeah. I have loads of home decor boards and everything. What other boards do you have on, what other kind of boards do you have on Pinterest? Home? And that's it?
home stuff, like how to cook.
How to cook, yeah. I love to use Pinterest for that. It's wonderful. Honestly, it's a better place. It really place to start for collecting pictures and artists' work and things like that. And then you can start printing it out. And then, like I said before, there's something, even though the magazines, that's just of who loves the smell of a book, right? Like an old book. Yeah, yeah. Nothing can beat it. You do. Yeah. So there you go. Like there's nothing like the smell of an old, dusty book. Or a magazine, the glossy kind of texture of magazine. So mix it up, you know, like have your internet kind of inspiration, but also go old school and go through magazines and clippings and do stuff, you know, like take a leaf and, you know, rub it, use bubble wrap and then put paint on bubble wrap and press it on the paper, and that's called mark making actually. That's like a technique that artists use. That's like so that paper isn't just plain and boring and white. It's got marks on it. You know, the more texture and layering it has. You can Google it on or you can go on Pinterest and search for mark making. They have great ideas. So that's another thing. So I said Instagram is great. Instagram is great for finding pictures and finding. Oh, I just love. I could spend ages looking at the feed, you know, of like different people's feed. You know, when you go through a good Instagram account and it's all cohesive and it's really nice. I love that. Okay, so let me talk about, since I'm a fashion illustrator, let me talk about the artists that I like. So I love Megan Hess. Who's heard of Megan Hess before? Has anyone heard of Megan Hess? She's big. She's from Australia, and she's worked for people from, like, she's worked with Tiffany's and Balmain, and she actually has a huge billboard outside Dubai Mall, I believe. So she's you know, when I was in college, I didn't know quite what to do. And then when I saw Megan Hess's website, I just thought, that's what I want to do. So, yeah, that was one. I just love how luxurious her work is. Then is Katie Rogers. She's an illustrator from Boston. She uses glitter and, you know, sequins and all kinds of pretty sparkly things in her work. And she uses watercolor usually. So I love her. And she makes it really, really. It's called Paper Fashion, if you want to check it out. And this woman is called Inslee Haynes. I think she's from Australia. You know what's cool about her is that she always draws things that have a story. So it's not just a pretty girl. You can see that this one has like a nice holiday kind of feel. You can almost feel like you're refreshed by looking at it, and you know, this lazy Sunday breakfast thing going on, and this cute dog in the back. So she has lots of little cute details that I like, and I think a successful illustrator does is that they tell a story. They pull you in, you know? It's not just, oh, here's a picture of a leaf, you know? It's something that pulls you in. So this is really cool. I'm sure people have seen this illustrator before. She's called Gretchen Roars. I don't know where she's from exactly, but she is a hit on Instagram for making illustrations out of food. So she was really, really original, and I think they're everywhere. All these really cute, quirky drawings. Like she has one with fries. Imagination she has. So I love her work as well. So what we're going to do is we have some magazines on the tables, and what I'm going to ask you to do is go through the magazines and cut out whatever speaks to you, whatever you like, you know, and try and create a collage. We've got some kind of glue sticks and, you know, home magazines, fashion. Even if you like, not into fashion, but you like the color or you like, you know, something, go through it and see what speaks to you and start cutting it out, or even ripping it out if you want to. And then create a collage for me. And then after a while, I'll be around to help you guys. And then that'll be your first page of your art journal that you can start doing on a regular basis. So yeah, why don't we start? Why don't we go ahead? Yeah. Would you like to? I'll be around to like look at everybody's. Okay, so this is a really cool book, by the way. This is a book that explains what a sketchbook is. So this is actually really cool because it's got ideas. And, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can put the light on. Hi. How are you? Okay. Did you get what I'm talking about? Like, what kind of stuff are you interested in? Okay. So you said that you're okay. Yeah, collage. Just pick colors and things that you. Yeah, on the paper. You can just stick it on the paper. On the collage. Yeah. There is no right or wrong way to do this. That's the best part. You can just. So this is a great way to start being creative when you don't know quite how to start. Has anyone want activity in them, but they don't want to draw, but I don't know how to start? So this is a perfect way to start. All the best artists keep a sketchbook. And forget about artists, even like poets or writers. The thing that they have in common is that they all daily work on their craft. And you have to start somewhere. So this is a great exercise to start and get rid of that intimidation and just start being creative. So yeah, go ahead. Hi, how are you doing? Is there any help? And if you don't find anything in the magazines that you particularly are drawn to, you can always sketch them out. Like you can always doodle. Who likes doodling over here? Okay. Hi. So what we're doing today is welcome to my workshop. It's called How to Create a Visual Diary. So we were just talking about when you're creative and everything, you might want to you want to start, but you want to be creative, but you don't exactly know how to start or how to draw. So this is a good way, this is a good exercise we're doing, where you start collecting your favorite artists or colors or patterns, and you just make it into a collage, and then you keep doing that, and then it becomes into like a sketchbook. So you can collect quotes, you can write things that inspire you. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to do the first page of your sketchbook, and then you'll know what to do. So then you can just continue doing it. So yeah, that's. Are you guys interested in art? Yeah. Who are your favorite artists? Architect. You're an architect. Okay. So you must know all about this. Yeah. You must have mood boards. Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel you. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, why don't you come on and try it? No. It's ageless. It's no age. No, go ahead. No. You gotta. Art has no age limit. Yeah. And how about you? Are you interested? You're. Hmm. Oh, okay, cool. So, what are your favorite sources of inspiration? Did you go to Art Dubai this year, or no? No? Or Abu Dhabi Art? Okay, well, feel free to have a shot. We have 2 tables, so yeah, go ahead. See what you come up with. Hi. Is your daughter into art, or it's you? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, nice to meet you. You like to draw? That's pretty. Are you into Oh, she does. That's so cool. Just like Instagram and everything like that. Yeah. That's actually the best way to do it. These are looking lovely. So these are flowers that you're interested in, different colors of flowers. That's awesome. And you're into luxurious things like watches and jewelry. Fashion. That's like me. I love fashion. Who are your favorite designers? And Zohair Murad and all of those. Did you go to Fashion Forward this year? You did? Yeah. Who was your favorite? I love Michael Cinco's collection. Yeah. Hmm. So you're more into feminine, luxury. Are you studying to be a designer right now, or no? But aspiring. Oh, okay. Well, this is a great way. I really encourage you to keep a diary in exactly the same way. And then once you get confident after you've started collecting things and, you know, writing quotes or collecting anything that inspires you, fabric samples, then what you do is you start drawing. So when you start drawing, I know people can say that, oh, practice makes perfect. But the truth is that you won't actually, yes, that's correct, but you won't be perfect unless you start taking courses. So there's loads of things like online courses you can do there's this thing called craftsy.com, Craftsy, and Skillshare, where there are these artists that have workshops. So for like $20, $30, you could, and then you go through it in your own time. So I've done a few, and it's really, really helpful. And of course, you can look through your own community and see what kind of art classes are available. That's cool. I can see that Japanese influence in that picture. Yeah. Hi. Did someone call me? Did you call me? Okay. Did someone say my name? Oh, okay. Hi, how are you? We're making a sketchbook, like a collage. Would you like to join us? Fit. How's it going? Huh. Oh, so I can see that you're into patterns, interiors. Yeah, I can see what I mean about seeing a pattern. So this is really apparent. I can just look. You've done a really great job because I can just look at it and tell that you're really into interiors, really into like patterns, into surfaces, surface ornamentation, and a bit of nature as well. What is it about this picture that you love? Is it the leaves or the lizard? Okay, so yeah, so that's a really well done kind of exercise. So you've already grasped the concept. So now I think what we should do. So this is just a mock-up, but I think if you're going to continue this, definitely start adding some textures, like maybe tiles or like coasters that are. You know how sometimes you can get those cool coasters with things like that, or things with texture, cork, or try some watercolor, like try to copy some of the designs, Give yourself little things, like don't go into the deep end with drawing, but just try to sort of do whatever you fancy. So, but I definitely think incorporating a bit of texture, especially since you're clearly into it, is good. It gives it makes it not just a collage, but more like a rich kind of collection of lots of things, So, and quotes and, like your dream house and, yeah. Are you into poetry or writing? Yeah, definitely. Then try adding some notes and, and then, yeah, you have to doodle. Doodling is so important. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, instead of see, that's a waste. Like, instead of now, when you have a sketchbook, just doodle in your sketchbook. And then eventually, like, I mean, you'll be surprised by how many people have made a career from just doodling. My friend, he doodles like nonsensical things, and now he's an artist in Berlin. And I'm telling you, his stuff is like literally probably the kind of stuff that people, uh, you know, just draw. Like and he said he started out just doodling. Yeah, so go ahead. Like that's never underestimate the power of doodling. All right. Let's see who is interested here. Oh, that's nice. Is that for Mother's Day? Yeah? Scenery. So you're into interiors and architecture and things like that? Yeah. So that's cool. And you are into romance? Pro- oh, yeah, I can see. So do you like romantic books? Like, yeah, I can see. See, even though, and you're into fast cars, fast life. It's so interesting to see that I don't even know anybody in this room, but I can tell just by looking at these pages what everybody's really interested in. And that just says something about art, you know? It's like you can peek into their mind. And there's a lot of people who are interested into interiors and architecture. Yeah, yeah. What kind of style of architecture are you into, or interiors? Contemporary. So like very minimalistic and very clean. I'm a bit like that, but I like beachy, kind of distressed. Yeah, yeah. I like nautical, like.
Like the villas which include a lot of design and a lot of, I feel it's a museum.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. I'm a little on the minimalistic side, but I love color.
Yeah, I love
I love using color. So because a lot of minimalistic things are just white, and I love white, but I need like a pop of color. And I love feminine kind of accents, like fluffiness or yeah. Are you an architect or an interior designer?
architecture engineer.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I met you here. It just looks different in a different light.
Yeah.
So, are you enjoying doing this?
Yes.
Is it inspiring you? Yeah, yeah. Sounds good.
But I'm working in transport, so it's not related to my work.
Sorry. Okay, so. Okay. Okay, so I'm looking through everybody's work, and I think it looks great. You know what's so cool about this is that I was just saying that I don't know anybody in this room, but looking through your pages, I can see exactly what you're passionate about. So into romance over there with an engagement ring and a romantic imagery. So it's really nice. It's like almost looking into somebody's mind. And that's exactly what a sketchbook is. A sketchbook is talking without any words. Or actually, you can put words in there, but basically it's like speaking, like going through a book that speaks to you. So, I remember in art college, people were really, really possessive about their sketchbooks. They were like, don't look at mine, it's a mess, it's a mess. But the thing is, that's how people were, because sketchbooks were really, really personal, and people got really upset that, why are you looking at my sketchbook without asking me? I think it was because it was just so personal. So that's exactly what sketchbooks are. They're really personal. It's like looking into somebody's diary. Like, it feels invasive, So I think that's something I can really understand. Where's my clicker? I had it. I think I left it on the table. Okay, here it is. Thanks. Thank you. Okay, so while we're doing this exercise, I hope you guys can multitask, because then I'm going to give you some tips on how to develop your skills, because it's all very good and well to cut and paste and collect inspiration, but how do you become a better artist? How do you become better at drawing? So I got a few tips for you. One is to draw from real life as much as you can. So you can start off drawing, with magazines and everything like that. But then after a while, I would really recommend that you draw from life as much as you can. So maybe, when you're going for a cup of coffee, you can take your sketchbook with you and sketch what you see. Okay, great. It looks awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. Amazing. Thank you. And so as I was saying, sketch from real life as much as you can. Have you ever sketched before? Has anyone sketched before real life? No? Are you going to start? Yes? Okay. I definitely recommend sketching from real life. And it might feel very scary at first, but just go with it. And draw for the first time, try not to just you know, a lot of people just draw and just get really upset. They get very emotional, like, oh no, this isn't good enough, I don't like it, the nose is wrong, the eyes are wrong, I just want to throw it away and just give up. And that's really, really, really normal. But I need you to sort of detach yourself from your work. Just completely have no emotion and be on autopilot. And instead of making a perfect piece of art, try just giving yourself a goal that I'm going to make 10 sketches today. Anything, just anything. I'm going to draw a flower, even if it's like this, anything, as long as. So my next tip is to concentrate on volume, not on perfection. Because when you concentrate on volume, that's less daunting. So it's like, and then inevitably you're going to get better because you're going to be churning out more work. So, you know, it's just common sense that the more you practice, the more you get better. But if you can never improve on a blank slate. So you should never stay stagnant. So don't be hung up on perfection. And so for courses, I was just mentioning that you can go online for courses. You can go on craftsy.com or Skillshare. And these are websites where artists, they teach you how to draw. So they have qualified artists online that teach you about their skills. And I find that really, really valuable because it's like people who are really, really experienced. And for like $30, you can download all these videos and then they teach you how to draw step by step. So yes, practice makes perfect, but it's the way you practice as well. You can't just keep drawing circles and expect to churn out the Mona Lisa. You gotta incorporate a bit of, you gotta find knowledge in the right places. So I think Abu Dhabi Art Hub also has art classes as well. So I also think you should draw what you genuinely love. So if you love drawing fashion illustration like me, then do it. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, I think fashion illustration is out of date. I think that you should start drawing digitally because that's what's in fashion. You know what? The world is full of people who are going to tell you what to do, your boss or your mom, and art is just for you. So if you want to draw fashion illustration or manga or anything, then do it, definitely. So there's a quote by Picasso. Forgotten, actually. It's something along the lines no, good artists create and great artists steal. So that might sound really controversial, but there is some truth to this, but there's a good way to steal and a bad way to steal. So a good way of stealing is being inspired by lots of artists. A bad way of stealing is being inspired by one artist and plagiarizing. So you don't want that. But if you steal from lots of artists, and when I say steal, I mean have inspiration from lots of artists, then it helps develop your own style, and nobody can pinpoint. Like, let's say I'm interested in Impressionism, I'm interested in pop art, I'm interested in Megan Hess, in like, you know, I like something one artist has done, but I like the way the other artist uses color. So I try to incorporate lots and lots of different things into my own style. Eventually, I'll have something completely brand new because it's tiny, tiny pieces of lots of people's work. So definitely steal, but in a good way, in a honorable way. And feedback. This is something that's a bit touchy. But if you want to be an artist that is going to improve, then you'll have to ask for feedback, which means you'll have to ask what people think and how you can improve it. So you can do that by putting your work online on deviantart.com, or you can ask teachers, or you can ask people who are more qualified than you, and they will tell you. And sometimes I can really, really help. And it can actually reduce your number of hours significantly. So you might, sometimes it's just better to get help when needed. So you might be able to improve to a certain level on your own, but then there inevitably comes a time where you'll want people's advice. So definitely ask for feedback. And this is a good challenge I have. Try a challenge online. So on Instagram, there's a hashtag called Drawing Challenge. And on Pinterest, it's there as well. So there's these challenges which talk about, you know, day 1, draw your pet. Day 2, draw this. So it's like, it's challenging. There we go. We've got a 30-day challenge here. So the first one says yourself at this point in time. Day 2, a character or a scene from your favorite movie. Day 3, something you'd like to eat right now. So if you're stuck for ideas, there are loads of these drawing challenges online. And some of them are much more difficult, and some of them are really easy. So go through them and look for something that you think, I want to try that, and try it. And then by the end of the 30 days, you might have drawn some amazing work. And if somebody hadn't challenged you, then you wouldn't have done it. So this is a good way of getting out of your block. You know, if you're suffering a block, I really recommend a 30-day challenge. So what's next? Okay, so once you've drawn and once you've kept all your sketchbooks and once you've got a portfolio, you might be thinking, what next? I'm an artist now. What do I do? This is scary. So when you've gotten to that point where you have lots of art and you don't know what to do, the best thing to do is to put it online. But I really think that a website should be first. If you want to be a professional artist, I really recommend that a website comes first before Instagram. We all love Instagram, and it's very trendy, and it's amazing. But I definitely think that a website is more important because well, they're both important, but a website is your business's home, whereas Instagram are marketing tools. So if somebody commissions you to do work, they're more likely to look at your website. And your website should have, it's more personal, so you can design it however you want. You can design it to reflect your personality, whereas with Instagram, you're just stuck with how Instagram's layout is and everything. So it's quite limiting. But definitely use both for different things. And I also think you should blog about your art projects. It builds traffic when you write about your own work. And also, so if you just swan into a gallery and be like, I got some work, look at it. No one's going to be that interested. You have to genuinely make connections and take interest in other people's work, and they'll be interested in your work eventually. So it's not a one-way street. You've got to create a dialogue, and you've got to research and look into your community, and then eventually you'll reap rewards. Okay, so social media. Okay, actually, you know what? Social media is not. I think we might be. You know what? I want to see what everybody's doing before we get into this. Let's see how everybody's sketchbooks are coming along. These are looking awesome. Okay. Awesome. I love it. Okay, so I hope this workshop has inspired you to create your own visual diary. Just in summary, a visual diary is a diary that has, it's a collection. When I say diary, it's really, really personal. And it's a perfect tool for you to make something that will lead to great work later on. So what we've learned today is how to create and how to work on a visual diary, and that you have to work daily in it. And we've touched a little bit on how to market yourself as an artist. And does anybody have any questions for me today while we're here? Does anyone have any questions? Do you? No? Okay. Did you enjoy this exercise? You did? Was it fun? Okay. And, okay, great. So, cool. Okay, if there's no questions, then that concludes the talk then. Thank you. So if you definitely check me out, my Instagram is Sara Japs, and my Facebook is Sara Japanwalla Fine Art and Illustration. So I hope you guys check my work out, and I hope you had fun. That was the most important thing.